Are you able to see the screen, students? Screen is visible? You are able to see the screen, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. In the last
Yes,
class,
sir.
okay, fine. In the last class, we're discussing about the numericals. We're solving the numericals. The third numerical I had given for homework. Given the potential field V is equal to 3x square yz plus k y cube z volts. First one, find k if potential field satisfies Laplace's equation. Second one, find E bar at 1, 2, 3. Okay. So has anybody solved it? Has anybody solved it? Who all have solved? Just share your screen. Anybody has solved it? Students, share your screens. Anybody knows who is DH? Any idea? Somebody is trying to join. Any idea who is DH, GE? No idea? Okay. So all have solved it, students. Share your screen. Numerical who has solved? Deepa Rathod. Solved? Rathod.
No, sir.
Why you didn't try, Deepa? You should have given a try, no? Vishal. Have you tried, Vishal?
Oh, sorry, sir, I didn't.
You should give a try at least. Getting the answer is different thing. At least if you try, you will understand, no? Deepa?
Uh,
Okay. Deepa, Lamani, have you solved, Deepa?
Yes, sir.
Have you solved?
Yes, sir. But no, answer is not getting, sir.
Okay. What is the difficulty? What is the difficulty? How you have solved it?
Calculation part, sir.
Where you are not understanding? Which part? Which portion you are not understanding? Excuse me. Where you have got stuck? Deepa,
Yes, sir.
where you got stuck? Deepa, exactly at which step you got stuck? You are not getting the answer, or where you got stuck exactly? Who is Itachi Uchiha? Somebody is requesting to join. Itachi Uchiha. Anybody knows about this student? Itachi Uchiha? No, no? Okay. Deepa, where you got stuck?
Dovey square is not there, no, sir.
Dou square, what you are not getting there? Dou square,
How to take that equation, sir?
that you are not getting. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. Shweta, I'll explain that. Okay. Shweta,
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
have you tried, Shweta?
No, sir.
Why you didn't try? Should have tried it. Karthik, Patil, Karthik,
yes, sir.
have you tried, Karthik?
No, sir.
Should I given a try? No. Next time when something is given, you should do it for homework. So that I will be asking next time
Okay.
to share your screen. Okay. Jocelino, Jocelino, Janvi, Janvi, Janvi Kaninaikar. Chandru Pattar, Chandru,
Yes, sir.
Janvi, have you tried numerical? Janvi,
Only half.
where you got stuck? Exactly at which step you got stuck, Janvi? Which step you got stuck, Janvi? Rohan Timsani, have you tried? Rohan, Madiri, try Madiri.
Sir.
You should have tried it. Sania, Sania, Sania,
Yes, sir.
have you given a try on the example?
No,
I
sir.
had asked for homework. No? Okay. Next time, whenever anything is given for homework, see that you are done with the homework so that I will be asking you all to share the screen. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. So all of you are able to see the screen, students? The slide is visible? Slide is visible, students? Students, are you all here? Sania? Slide is visible or not?
Yes, sir. Visible. Yes, sir. Visible.
Okay, thank you. See, what they have asked is they have given the V equation for V potential 3x square yz plus ky cube z volts, and they have asked to find the value of k if the equation satisfies Laplace equation. Given equation for V, if it satisfies Laplace equation, then we have to find the value of k. Second part is we have to find the electric field intensity at the point 1, 2, 3 at the coordinates 1, 2, 3. Consider the given equation V is equal to 3x square yz plus ky cube z. Then according to Laplace equation, del square V is equal to 0. Correct? Del square V is equal to 0 for the Laplace equation. So take del square V, that is del square V is nothing but in Cartesian dou square V by dou x square plus dou square V by dou y square plus dou square V by dou z square. This is del square V in Cartesian system. Hence it will be 6 if we differentiate one time. What is meant by dou square V by dou x square? Double differentiation. We have to differentiate two times. Similarly, dou square V by dou y square and dou square V by dou z square. Differentiate this equation V with respect to x first time. If we differentiate first time, what we will be getting with respect to x? 3yz is common, 2x. So it will be 6xyz, 6xyz. Correct? Second time, if we differentiate, we get 6yz. 6yz is constant. Differentiation of x is 1. So here I have written 6yz plus. Here if we differentiate this with respect to x, it is 0. Next, differentiate with respect to y first time. This is 3x square z. It is 3x square z. Here x square 3x square z is constant. Okay, so it will be 3x square z. Second time when you differentiate, it will be how much? 0. Correct? It will be 0. 3x square z. First time differentiation of y is 1. Then second time differentiation will be 0. Then differentiate ky cube z with respect to y. We get kz 3y square. 3y square. Correct? Kz 3y square. So it will be 3ky square z. 3ky square z. Correct? Again differentiate with respect to y. 3ky square. So it will be 6kyz. 6kyz. Then differentiate this equation with respect to z. 3x square y, differentiation of z is 1. Then second time differentiation it will be 0. And this is plus ky cube z. Ky cube differentiation first time it is 1. Then second time when you differentiate, differentiation of 1 is 0. So it will be plus 0. Dou square v by dou z square is 0. Correct? But we know that del square v is equal to 0 according to Laplace equation. They have asked that this given equation satisfies the Laplace equation. If so, find the value of k. The equation is del square v, that is 6yz plus 6kyz, that is equal to 0. Del square v, this LHS is equal to 0. It means this equation is equal to 0. Then here 6yz is common. 6yz is common, so it is 6yz multiplied by into the bracket 1 plus k. 1 plus k. 6yz is 0 or k is equal to 1 plus k is equal to 0. Correct? 6yz cannot be 0 because they are the coordinates. So here k plus 1 is equal to 0 or k is equal to minus 1. Yes. So I think as one of you all told that we got stuck in double differentiation. Right? You have to differentiate once here. Once if you differentiate whatever value you're getting, write it. Second time you differentiate that again. That you will get the second differentiation. Hope you got the point here. Yes, double differentiation. Somebody got stuck. No, who got stuck there? Double differentiation. I think Deepa Rathod. Somebody got stuck. No, here in this step. Who had got stuck?
Yes, sir.
Is it not? So you understood now how to take the differentiation. First, differentiate this entire equation with respect to x once. Then again you differentiate this entire equation with respect to x second time. Similarly, this entire equation you differentiate with respect to y first time, then the same equation second time. Similarly for the z, differentiate it first time with respect to z, and again the same equation. This entire equation should be differentiated. Whatever equation you got, first derivative, that should be differentiated. Okay, first derivative, whatever you're getting, that should be differentiated the second time. Okay, then you will get the final answer. Hope you that point is clear to you all. Double differentiation. Okay. Therefore, we'll get k value as minus 1. Then second part of the problem, find E bar at 1, 2, 3. Electric field intensity at 1, 2, 3. We know that E bar is minus del V. According to the relation between electric field intensity and potential, the relation is electric field intensity is negative gradient of electric field potential. Right? That is minus del V. How do you write del V, students? Dou V by dou x AX bar plus dou V by dou y AY bar plus dou V by dou Z AZ bar. This is our del V, gradient of V. We call it as gradient of V. Now dou V by dou x, differentiate the given equation V with respect to x. So what we get, 3yz is constant into 2x. So it is 6xyz. So it is minus of 6xyz minus del V, it is AX bar, plus differentiate it with respect to x. Ky cube z is 0. Differentiate with respect to y. So how much you will get? Differentiation with respect to y. 3x square z, that is 3x square z, plus here if we differentiate this ky cube z with respect to y, what you will get? Kz is constant, 3y square. So it is 3ky square z, 3ky square z. Okay. Then next time, what is remaining with respect to z? Dou v by dou z. This is into ay bar plus with respect to z, 3x square y plus ky cube into az bar. This will get, that is minus del v. Okay. Then we are supposed to find at the given coordinate 1, 2, 3. This is in terms of ax bar, ay bar and az bar. Then substitute for x, y and z in this equation. Substitute for x, y and z in this equation. Then what we'll get here? Minus of 6 into x is 1, y is 2, then z is 3. If you substitute these values in the above equation, then it will be simplified finally to the equation E bar is equal to minus of 36 AX bar minus 27 AY bar minus 2 AZ bar. That is, E bar is equal to, take minus inside, minus 36 AX bar plus 27 AY bar minus into minus is plus 2 AZ bar volt per meter. Is this numerical clear here, students? This numerical is clear here? Any difficulty in this still? I hope everybody understood.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll proceed further. Next one is, students, we are going to study the theorem called as uniqueness theorem. Okay, just now we saw that Laplace equation is used in solving the numericals. Okay, now when it comes to the boundary value problems, right? Boundary value problems as that for the Laplace equation and Poisson's equation. These boundary value problems can be solved by various methods, such as it can be analytical method, that is using equations. It can be solved by graphical methods. It can be solved using with the experimental methods, right? Various methods are there to solve the boundary value problems. Now, if we apply any of these methods, that is, suppose say I am applying analytical method, equation wise, I am solving with equations, the given equation. Okay, that is Laplace equation. I am solving with the equation method, analytical method, right? Then whatever solution we get for the boundary value problems, either I solve it by say equation method, analytical method, or graphical method, or by experiment method, the solution should be unique. We should get the same solution. This, for this understanding this, we require the help of the uniqueness theorem. So uniqueness theorem will help us to solve this problem, and it will tell us that whatever solution we are getting is unique at the boundary conditions. At the boundary conditions, if we solve the Laplace equation, then the solution that is obtained is unique irrespective of whatever method we are going to apply. Okay, let us try to understand the uniqueness theorem. Assume that Laplace's equation has two solutions, say V1 and V2. We know that Laplace equation. What is Laplace equation, students? Del square V is equal to 0. Let us assume that it has two solutions, V1 and V2. Both are functions of coordinates of the system used. Both are coordinates of the, functions of the coordinates used. These solutions must satisfy the Laplace's equation. Now, whatever solution we are finding, they must satisfy the Laplace's equation. Finally, they should satisfy the main equation, correct? If we substitute the solution in the main equation, then that should be satisfied. So we can write del square V1 is equal to 0 and del square V2 equal to 0. The solutions, what we assumed here, V1 and V2, they should satisfy Laplace equation. That means del square V1 is equal to 0 and del square V2 equal to 0, as our main Laplace equation is del square V is equal to 0. Take this as equation 1. Both the solutions must satisfy boundary conditions. So these solutions, they must also satisfy the boundary conditions, because these are all boundary value problems, and we have arrived at the Poisson's and Laplace equation considering the boundary value problem. Okay. At the boundary, the potentials at different points are same due to equipotential surface. If we consider the boundary, it grazes the surface. So as it is grazing the surface, what will happen? At the boundary, the potential at different points will be identical. The potential at various points will be same. Yes. Then accordingly, we can say that V1 is equal to V2. Because the potentials are same, V1 potential is equal to V2 potential. Take it as equation 2. At the boundary, because of equipotential surface, surface which is having equal potentials at different points, we can write V1 equal to V2. Let the difference between the two solutions be VD. The difference between these two solutions, let it be VD. That means VD is equal to V2 minus V1. Difference between the two solutions. VD is equal to V2 minus V1. Using Laplace's equation for the difference VD, I can write del square VD is equal to del square of V2 minus V1 is equal to 0. Right? Because what is Laplace equation? It is del square V equal to 0. I'll apply Laplace equation to equation 3. Therefore, it will be del square Vd, that is del square of V2 minus V1 equal to 0. This is equation number 4. Now I'll expand this. Del square Vd is equal to del square V2 minus del square V1, that is equal to 0. Now at the boundary, we know that Vd equal to 0. How we are getting this Vd equal to 0? From equations 2 and 3. This is our equation 2. V1 equal to V2. Then equation 3 is Vd equal to V2 minus V1. V1 equal to V2, and we know that Vd equal to V2 minus V1. Therefore, how much will be Vd? V1 equal to V2, Vd equal to V2 minus V1. How much will be Vd? Yes, anybody? How much will be Vd? Yes. What is the value of Vd? V2 and V1 are equal to V. V1 equal to V2. So what will be Vd? Yes. What will be Vd?
V2 minus V1.
V2 minus V1, correct. But what is the final value we'll get? V2 and V1 are same. 0, correct? We'll get 0. Yes, we'll get 0. Right? That means at the boundary, Vd equal to 0 from equations 2 and 3. We know the divergence theorem, Gauss divergence theorem. According to the Gauss divergence theorem, it states that volume integral of divergence of vector A with respect to volume is equal to closed surface integral of the same vector with respect to the surface. This is the Gauss divergence theorem. Gauss divergence theorem states that volume integral del dot A bar dV, this is equal to closed surface integral A bar dot ds bar. Take it as equation number 6. Let A bar is equal to Vd delta Vd. Let A bar is equal to Vd delta Vd. Now this we are assuming here. A bar is equal to Vd delta Vd from the vector algebra. Why we are taking it as only Vd delta Vd? We could have assumed something else, right? Because the reason is here we are interested in the boundary. It is how the value is changing from one point to another point. And the one which gives the difference between 2 points at the boundary is nothing but the gradient. Okay, the meaning of gradient is it is nothing but observing how the conditions are changing from one point to another point at the boundary or at the surface. Correct? Therefore, we are assuming this value as A bar is equal to not only Vd but Vd delta Vd, because the gradient should be considered, how it is changing from one point to another point at the surface of the boundary. Therefore, from vector algebra, we can write del dot of alpha b bar is equal to, this is the vector algebra equation. This is a vector identity as we are calling. This you will have to remember, memorize this equation. Del dot of alpha b bar is equal to alpha of del dot b bar plus b bar dot delta alpha. Okay, this is the vector identity, vector equation. We'll use this equation to solve the above equation, whatever we have got. Now use this for del dot Vd delta Vd. Del dot del Vd delta Vd. That means what? Alpha is equal to Vd. Take alpha is equal to Vd and b bar is equal to delta Vd. B bar is equal to delta Vd. Therefore, we get here del dot Vd delta Vd, that is equal to alpha is what? Vd of delta dot b bar. B bar is delta Vd. So dot delta Vd plus b bar is delta Vd dot delta alpha. Alpha is Vd. So delta Vd. Okay. But delta dot delta, del dot del, it is del square. Del dot del is del square. We have seen this identity previously. Hence, I can write del dot of Vd delta Vd. This is equal to Vd. Del dot del is del square Vd plus delta Vd dot delta Vd. Take it as equation 7. Using equation 4, let us use equation 4. Check what is equation 4. It is del square Vd is equal to 0, or del square of V2 minus V1 equal to 0. Del square Vd equal to 0. That is equation 4. If we used equation 4, then what we'll get in the above equation 7? Del square Vd is 0. So this is 0. Therefore, this term will be 0. This term will be 0. Vd del square Vd will be 0 because del square Vd is 0. The only term that will remain is del dot of Vd delta Vd is equal to del Vd dot del Vd. Del Vd dot del Vd. Take it as equation 8. Now, if you want to use this equation in equation 6, to use this in equation 6, we are assuming A bar is equal to VD delta VD as we did earlier. We have assumed that A bar is equal to VD delta VD. Hence, what we will get del dot of VD delta VD. This is equal to del dot A bar. What is the equation 6, students? Del dot A bar dV volume integral is equal to closed surface integral A bar dot ds bar. Substitute whatever we have got the equation for A bar. What is the equation for A bar we have got? A bar is VD delta VD. Substitute in equation 6. Therefore, it will be volume integral. This is del dot A bar. How much we have got? Del VD. This is del VD dot delta VD. Correct? Del dot A bar. This is delta VD dot delta VD. Correct? That is, we are assuming A bar as VD delta VD. We assumed it earlier here. Let A is equal to VD delta VD. Here it is. A bar is equal to VD delta VD. It's the same equation. Then we'll get the volume integral del dot A bar. What is A bar? VD delta VD. Substitute that. So del dot VD delta VD. So it is del VD del dot VD delta VD. This is equal to A bar is del dot A bar dV. Volume integral. A bar is del VD A bar is, so it is del VD delta VD, del VD del dot delta VD, delta dot A bar, delta dot A bar it is. So delta dot A bar, how much we have got here? Delta dot A bar, that is delta VD dot delta VD, A bar. Okay, delta VD dot delta VD. Because here we have got this del dot VD delta VD. Okay, so there is del dot VD delta VD is what, friends? This is LHS. VD delta VD is what? A bar. So it is del dot A bar is equal to this one, delta VD dot delta VD. Substitute that. So volume integral delta VD dot delta VD. This is equal to closed surface integral. What is the closed surface integral? A bar dot ds bar. Again, write expression for A bar. A bar is VD delta VD dot ds bar. But VD equal to 0 on the boundary. VD is 0 on the boundary. Hence RHS. What will be RHS of equation 9? It will be 0 because VD equal to 0 at the boundary. Correct? V2 equal to V1 at the boundary. Therefore, VD is V2 minus V1, that is 0. Is it not? Therefore, if you substitute VD equal to 0 on the boundary, then we will get volume integral delta VD dot delta VD dV is equal to 0. This is the volume integral which has to be evaluated on the volume enclosed by the boundary. Now we know the vector identity C bar dot C bar is equal to C bar square. C bar dot C bar, if C bar is a vector, if we dot that vector with itself, that will be equal to absolute value of C bar square. That is volume integral del VD dot del VD. This is del VD dot del VD. It is del VD square. Correct? Del VD square. dV is equal to 0. Right? Del VD dot del VD is del VD square in dV is equal to 0 as delta VD is a vector. Instead of C bar dot C bar equal to C square, I am writing delta VD dot delta VD as delta VD square. Delta VD square dV is equal to 0 because delta VD is a vector. Difference in potential, it is a vector because it has a magnitude, difference in potential, and it has a direction also. In which direction the potential is decreasing, in which direction the potential is increasing. Correct? It has direction as well as magnitude. It is a vector. Here we got the integration. Correct? Now, if we want to solve this integral, that when this is 0, they are saying that means either the integral, the value within the integral must be 0. That is one condition. Another condition is this quantity delta VD may be positive at some regions and it may be equally negative in other regions. Number of positive regions, number of negative regions are equal and opposite. They will cancel out each other. So you will get 0. That is second condition for the integral to be 0. But here it's a square term, delta VD square. So as it is a square term here, the square cannot be negative. Whether the square value is negative anytime? No. Square is minus. If you take minus into minus, it will be plus only. Yes. So square value is never negative. Hence, we cannot take the second condition. That is, quantity is positive in some regions and negative in other regions by equal amount, opposite amount. Hence, it is 0. Because of this, the integral is 0, cannot be considered, because there is no negative value as such. It is a square term. Hence, the quantity under integral sign is 0. If the quantity under integral sign is 0, that is delta Vd square is 0. If delta Vd square is 0, then delta Vd must be equal to 0. Take it as equation 12. This delta Vd, as I told, gradient is the change that we are seeing when it moves from one point to another point. When we move from one point to another point, how much is the change in the value of that quantity? That gives the gradient. Okay. Here, as we are considering the potential, it is a difference in the potential between the 2 points. That means delta Vd is equal to, or the gradient of Vd equal to V2 minus V1, that is equal to 0, which means that V2 minus V1 is constant. V2 minus V1 is constant and it is not changing with any of the coordinates. Right? Because it's a constant term. As V2 changes, V1 changes. As V1 changes, V2 changes. Hence, V2 minus V1 is always equal to 0. That is a constant. So what we have proved here, considering the boundary, is proved that V2 minus V1, this is V2 minus V1 equal to constant, and that is equal to 0. If V2 minus V1 is 0, then what will be V2, students? V2 will be equal to V1. Yes or no? V2 minus V1 equal to 0. Therefore, V2 will be equal to V1. Take it as equation 13. What we have proved here, this proves that the solutions are equal and cannot be different. So whichever method we use, the solutions are going to be unique. They are going to be equal. V1 is equal to V2, which satisfies the Laplace's equation. Thus, uniqueness theorem can be stated as the solution of Laplace's equation satisfies the boundary conditions. The solution of Laplace equation, if it satisfies the boundary conditions, then that solution is unique by whichever method we are going to solve it. Whichever method we may use, either we use graphical method or analytical method or experimental method, whichever method is used, irrespective of that, the solutions whatever we are getting, they are going to be unique. They are going to be same for the Laplace's equation. Okay, this is the proof of the uniqueness theorem. Hence, we have explained the uniqueness theorem here, starting from the Laplace equation. Okay. Any difficulty in this uniqueness theorem, students? Any difficulty here in this uniqueness theorem? If you are having any doubts, any questions, you all can ask. So any difficulty here, students? Any problem in understanding uniqueness theorem? Everybody understood this theorem? It's one of the important theorems and maybe asked in examination, has been repeatedly asked in the examination question papers. Okay, make it perfect. It may be asked in the examination. Any difficulty, any problem in understanding this theorem? Yes, please. Chandrasekhar, Pattar.
No, sir. Clear, sir. All.
Clear? Okay. Janvi. Understood, Janvi? Mahadev. Wadier. Mahadev. Sagar Tallikeri. Sagar.
Sir.
Clear, Sagar?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay. Soham Raikar, Miranda Jocelino Mason, Miranda Jocelino Mason. Is it understood? Sania? Sania? Okay. I'll quickly explain this procedure for solving the Laplace's equation. Just now what all we have solved, it is based on that only. The procedure remains the same. That is, solve the Laplace equation using method of integration. Solve the Laplace's equation using method of integration. Once we try to solve using the method of integration, we'll be getting the constants. Correct? Assume constants of integration wherever necessary. So we are getting the constants when we are trying to integrate the Laplace's equation. Then next step 2, we have to find out the constants by applying the boundary conditions. Right? Second step is to find the constants by applying the boundary conditions for that region. Apply the boundary conditions as we applied just now. V1 equal to V2, right? And determine the constants, value of the constants. The solution obtained in step 1 with constants obtained using boundary conditions is an unique solution. Whatever solution we have obtained in step 1 by considering the boundary conditions and the constants, right? That will be a unique solution. That is, the solution will be same irrespective of whichever methods we use for solving that Laplace equation. Once we get the solutions, then E can be obtained for the potential field V using the equation E is equal to minus del V. We know the value of V now. We have solved the Laplace equation. Once we know V, we can find out E. Correct? E is equal to minus del V. E is electric field intensity is negative gradient of electric field potential. Right? So we get E is equal to minus del V. Using this, we will be able to find E. Once we find E, then D is equal to epsilon into E. D is epsilon E, correct? Epsilon times the electric field intensity. Hence, we will be able to find the value of D, electric flux density. Then at the surface, rho s is equal to dN. At the surface, at the boundary, right? It is equal to the normal component because the tangential component grazes at the surface. So at the surface, we have only the normal component, correct? Exactly at the surface, right? Hence, once D is known, normal component Dn can be known because we are knowing the value of D. Therefore, we can calculate the value of Dn. Yes, normal component. Charge induced on the conductor is given by the equation Q is negative integral of rho s ds. We can find the value of the charge using this equation minus integral rho s ds because we know rho s. Rho s equal to Dn, that is surface charge density is equal to normal component of the electric flux density, because the total electric flux density is divided into split up into 2. We are resolving them, tangential component plus normal component. Tangential component is not existing at this surface, it is 0. So we have only the normal component, correct? So rho s is equal to Dn, and we know the equation Q is minus integral rho s ds. This equation we are familiar. Surface charge density is charge upon area, so Q by ds into ds. ds will cancel. LHS is equal to RHS. Correct? Once charge Q and V are known, we know the value of Q, we know the value of V. Correct? We know both of them. Can we not find the capacitance? We can find the capacitance by the equation C is equal to Q by V. Hence, we are finding the value of capacitance using the equation C is equal to Q by V. This is how we are solving the Laplace equation, and by the procedure that we are following here, we will be able to find the value of the capacitance at the end, right? So this is the procedure for solving the Laplace's equation. You will have to memorize these steps. Okay, these steps may be asked in examination, and they may ask numericals on solving the Laplace equation. We'll take up those numericals in the next class. A few of the numericals, 2-3 numericals will solve, and then we will proceed to the next topic. Okay, so those numericals will continue in the next class. A quick recap of what we discussed in today's class. We have solved an example on the Laplace's equation where we found out the value of k for the given equation V satisfying Laplace's equation. Then we also found out the electric field intensity at the given coordinate. Then we have studied the uniqueness theorem, right? Why we have to go for uniqueness theorem. Okay. And we have also studied the procedure. We have known the steps. We have come across the steps for solving the Laplace equation, or the procedure for solving the Laplace's equation. Under this, we have gone through various steps for the procedure for solving the Laplace's equation. Okay. The next class, I'll be solving few examples, and then we'll proceed to the next topic in this module. Any questions here, students? Any questions here? Any doubts? Students?
No doubt, sir.
Mohammed, any questions? Okay. Mohammed?
No, sir.
Mohammed Mazhar? Any difficulty, Mohammed?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. Prajwal Mali? Prajwal?
No, sir.
Any problem in understanding, Prajwal?
No, sir.
Today's example and theorem understood?
Yes, sir.
Both of them? Okay. What about other students? Shubham? Shubham?
Yes, sir.
Was it clear today's discussion, Shubham?
Yes, sir.
Everything is clear? No doubts as
Yes.
such?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. Soham Raikar? Soham? Soham?
Yes, sir.
Is it understood today's derivation, Soham? Example and derivation? Any difficulty there?
No, sir.
Clear? The steps are clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Right. Suraya Banu? Suraya Banu?
Yes, sir.
Understood today's discussion? Suraya Banu, any difficulty, any problem in understanding, anything not understood?
No, sir. Understood.
Understood? Okay, fine. Sai Prakash? Sai Prakash?
Yes, sir.
Is it understood, Sai Prakash, today's topics?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Understood. Okay, fine. Okay, students, then we'll continue with the examples and the next topics in the next class. Okay, thank you.